Hi, I'm Adam with Finding Self-Reliance, and today is a big day for us because we finally have water. I mentioned in another video that we had a well on this property already when we bought it, but the previous owner had an agreement with the neighbors that they could use the water until the property sold. Well, we bought the property and there was already a well, but we finally got the pump guys to come out. They took the old pump out and put it into the new well that was dug over on the neighbor's property, and they finally put our pump in, but it's not quite ready yet. So we've got our well and they installed a hydrant. And if we come in here, we've got the electronics for the pump and a pressure tank. But one thing we don't have yet is power. So I wanted to power this with solar power, but when I bought a solar power system, I didn't know what the requirements of this pump were. Anyway, long story short, the solar power system I have is not powerful enough to run this setup, so we're going to have to use a portable generator. So I guess the well guys, obviously they didn't know what kind of outlet we're going to need, so my wife went and bought an outlet that should fit into this generator, or a plug I should say. So we're going to have to wire that plug to this so that we can plug into the generator so that we can have power for this system. Now sometime in the not too distant future, I want to upgrade my solar power system so that we can run this on solar, but we need water for all the other projects we're going to be doing, foundations, mixing cement, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, today we're going to get this done and we're going to have water.
So this is a 4-prong that we have 3 wires going to. On the pump wires we have a ground and 2 hots. And our generator needs this specific plug, so we will be wiring this 4-prong with only 3 wires. Basically you just don't use the neutral. And the red and black are interchangeable, so you just have to put it onto the 2 hot prongs for the hot wires, and then the green goes on the ground. We're going to take this part off because this is where the wires are going to go into. This is where the wire is going to go through, but we need to remove this end here so that we can attach the wires inside. So you can see inside there, this one has green, that is the ground. This is Y for yellow, and this is X for black. And this is the one white, that's the neutral that we're not going to be using on this one. There we go. Before we attach these wires to the prongs, we're going to put the other end on, and we'll stick the wires through the hole here. Okay. And then we're going to start with the ground. And we're going to stick it in there. See that there's green in this inside? And tighten it down. Okay, now we're going to put this red one into the yellow spot because that's a hot. Okay, so the last wire is the black one, and it's going to go into the X because that is for black. And we'll stick that in there, and then we'll tighten it down. Now we're going to slide this piece up and close up that part there, and we'll tighten these screws down. And then all we have to do, the last thing, is to attach these pieces here to hold on to the wires. Okay, so you can see those wires go in there. And all we're going to do now is screw these tight so it doesn't come apart. Okay, there you go.
All right, so the plug has now been wired, and good job, babe. Now we need power. So we're gonna open up this generator. Now, I've never owned a gasoline generator before, so we have gasoline, but I don't know if it comes with oil or anything else it might need. So we're gonna open this up, see what's in there, and hopefully we can get water today. If not, we have to go get some oil or something, and then we'll have water tomorrow. Get these staples out. All right. Instructions. Don't need those. Just kidding. All right, so lifting this thing out of the box was a two-person job, and I was too lazy to set up a tripod. So magically, it's out of the box. And I think I'm gonna have to take some time to read the instructions before I continue. Okay, well, this is kind of what I was afraid of. It requires oil, but it doesn't look like they included any. I was hoping they would. We bought another thing, like a tamper recently, and that came with a little bit of oil. These cheap didn't give us any oil, so we're gonna have to go get some and pick this up tomorrow.
I don't think it should say cheap.
I can bleep it. All right, so the generator needs to be grounded, and to do that, I'm going to put this grounding rod in the ground, but it only needs to go in the ground, well, they say at least 24 inches. So I'm going to cut off a 3-foot section of this, because this is just too long right now. Now that it's cut, I need to hammer this thing into the ground at least 2 feet, and I'm going to do that right next to the shed. All right, I'd say that's at least 2 feet in the ground now. So now I need to attach a wire to the generator and then to the grounding rod. Okay, so I connected the grounding wire to the generator, and the next step is going to be to connect it to the grounding rod, and we have this little clamp to help us do that. So that may or may not be the permanent home for the grounding rod. I'm not really sure, but at this point the generator is grounded. Now I just have to add some gas and some oil, and we should be able to fire this thing up. Well, there's gas and oil, it's grounded. I did the high altitude conversion kit. This is the moment of truth. Success. Now we gotta let that thing run for 3 hours before we can actually pump water with it. All right, so the generator has been running long enough to be officially broken in, and now we can see if we have water. Whoa!
That's a lot of pressure.
It worked!
It worked! It worked!
We have water. All right, well, now that we have water, it'll be a lot easier to mix concrete and pour some foundations and get started on the additional outbuildings that we want to build. So that will be coming soon. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.